Hello people, in today's class we'll learn how to create this feather I used to style this hat. You can see that feather with some beads in the middle. That's what we are creating, and this feather you can as well use it to create some form of branches to style your fascinator. Before we go ahead, if you're new to my channel, please go ahead to hit the subscribe button, like and share my videos. Alright, so I have my feather and it's known as dog feather here. I don't know another name for this very feather. Okay. So then I have this strand of bead. I'm just using few of it. I'm not using all of this. Okay. Then I have my jewelry wire. This is the popular wire you use for your bead work. And the measurement I'm using, the size I'm using is 0.9. 0.90. That is the size I used for this tutorial. Then I have my fabric glue and my tray. So let's go ahead to create this design. So I'm starting right now with creating my wire work, and when I'm done doing it, then we'll move over to the next stage. So let me measure out 8 inches of this wire. That is the length I'll be using for my wire work. So in this tutorial, I'm just going to be showing you my illustration using just creating one feather, okay? So you can go ahead to create as many as you like, right? So I'm just going to be bending over the 8 inches into two. So let's say we now have length of 4 inches, okay? Then I will pick my beads and then form the wire works. When I pass the bead down there, I'm just going to go ahead to twist. So you can pay attention on this part to find out how I created the wire work, right? So right now I'm passing the second bead, and I'm not going to be pushing it to till the end. Can you see the space? So I'm just going to be leaving that little space and then twist so that I can easily twist it. So this is what I will do for the next bead as well, and that is it. So I'm just going to be using 3 beads to create one feather design. Alright, so if you want to create as many feather designs as possible, you can use this tutorial to learn and then replicate it and create as many as possible, right? So I've already passed the third bead and I'm just going ahead to twist. Okay, so when I'm done doing this, I will twist the remaining parts. I'm not going to be passing any bead inside, I'm just going to be twisting it. And right now, assuming you are creating like a feather stem, just like in the second video, okay, you can make this stem very long. All right, but for this tutorial it's just a short feather, so that's why the length is not that long. Now for this very part, which is the feather design, I will first of all start by curving it, making it curving. It won't be straight again, and you can do this using your scissors or your coiler. But for those that doesn't have a coiler, I'm going to be showing you in this tutorial how to curve with just your scissors, right? So I'm going to be using this very part of my scissors to curve the feathers. Pay attention and see how I curve. So when you want to curve, it's advisable that you start at the tip, then move down and down. So you start at the tip first to create that curve, then you move down and down. If you have a coiler, you can just use your coiler to curve, right? So I will do this for the feathers I'm going to be using to achieve this flower, and I use just 5 feathers to create one flower. All right, just 5 feathers, so I'm curving the 5 of them. And when we are done, we move to the next stage. If you're finding value in my tutorial, please go ahead to give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and if you have any question, please Leave it in the comment section and I will respond to you. So I'm still curving my feathers, and when I'm done, we move to the next level. So for this stage, I'm just going to be giving it a shape, like shaping my feathers so that it will look more beautiful. You can actually use your feather this way and create that design, but for this tutorial, I want to give it a different shape and then use it to create the feather flower. So you pay attention and see how I'm going to be using my scissors to shape all my feathers. Can you see how I am cutting it? I'm not cutting it straight, I'm cutting it in a slant form, after which I will use my scissors to trace off the down part. For this part, you can use a very sharp razor or you just use your scissors. Meanwhile, have you checked on the last tutorial I dropped on feather design? If you have not watched it, I will encourage you that once you are done with this, please head over and also watch that very feather style so that you can learn as many design as possible to style your headwears. Alright? Can you see what I achieved after shaping this very feather? So in case you didn't follow up, I will also be creating another one. I'm going to be shaping another feather. So you also pay attention to see how I did it. So I'm just going to be shortening the length of this so that it can correspond with the length of my wire work. So let me go ahead to also shape this very feather. So in case you didn't follow, you don't catch the first one, please pay attention and you will find out how I did it using this second one. So I hope you find value in this video. If you do so, go ahead to give me a thumbs up, like my channel, subscribe to my channel if you are yet to do so. Alright, thank you all for always sticking to this channel. Okay guys, so I'm done creating my feathers, shape, giving it that shape. So the next thing is to fix them on my wire work, and what I'm going to be doing right now is just to apply some glue on this very part of my wire. All right, so you apply your glue, leave it a little bit for it to dry before you go ahead to start placing your feathers one by one in the position you would love them to be. Please take note that you can use as many feathers as possible. For this tutorial, I only used 5. You can use more than 5 depending on how full you want your flower to show up. Alright? So right now I'm just taking each of them and placing them in the position I want them to be. And when you are done doing this, you won't stop there. You still go ahead to use your thread to tie it all round. So while tying it, you may notice that it's changing the shape like how you have placed it before, but that's not so much of a problem. After tying, you can still arrange it back the way you want it to appear. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you are following. If you do so, if you find this valuable, please go ahead to like this video, share my videos, recommend my channel to your millinery friends, to your millinery family members, alright? And if you are new to my channel, I create contents on how to make your headwear designs and styles, right? So go ahead to subscribe so that you stay updated once I drop tutorials. Okay? Thank you for following my channel. Thank you for sticking with me. I appreciate you all, and I hope you find my tutorials valuable. Meanwhile, I have another tutorial video I dropped last week on how to create another style of feather design. If you have not watched it, please check the comment section because I will leave the link below so that you go right now and also watch it on how to create another style of the feather design, to style your fascinators, to style your hats, to style your turbans. Thank you all for visiting my channel and following, and I will see you in my next tutorial.